Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy that you stopped by today. Smash that like button if you enjoy these videos and subscribe and click the bell if you want notification of future videos. I had a request to do Marilyn Manson. Who is Marilyn Manson? Brian Hugh Warner, born January 5th of 1969 and professionally known as Marilyn Manson, an American singer, songwriter, and record producer, actor, painter, and writer. He's known for his controversial stage personality and image as the lead singer of the band with the same name, of which he remains one of the only constant members. His stage name was formed by combining and juxtaposing the names of two opposing American cultural icons, a sex symbol and an infamous criminal in Manson's case, actress Marilyn Monroe and cult leader Charles Manson. Manson is best known for music released in the 90s in such albums as Portrait of an American Family, 1994, Antichrist Superstar, 1996, Mechanical Animals, 1998, which earned him a reputation in the mainstream media as a controversial figure and a negative influence on young people when combined with his public image. Now, he did appear in Michael Moore's political documentary about gun violence, Bowling for Columbine 2002, discussing possible motivations for the 99 Columbine massacre after media speculation that the shooters were avid fans of Manson's music. He denied allegations that his music was a contributory factor. Well, the real question for today is regarding Evan Rachel Wood. Now, this beautiful young woman, Evan Rachel Wood, accused Marilyn Manson of grooming her as a teenager, all right? So she's an actress, and she said that they were in a relationship when she was 19 and he was 37, and he manipulated her into submission. Wood previously accused an unnamed person of sexual, emotional, and physical abuse, including rape and torture, leaving her with PTSD. Other women have come forward and made similar accusations. Manson's ex-wife, Dita Von Teese, a former partner, Rose McGowan, said he didn't believe that way with them. McGowan still supports Manson's accusers. Manson denies all allegations as horrible distortions of reality, but he has now been dropped by his record label, talent label, and management. This is going to be an interesting one to do a reading on. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only, not based upon factual, but based upon my individual personality and how I interpret the tarot cards. One striking aspect is that Manson never hid anything from music, journalist, or anyone else. Extremely provocative statements and behavior were an integral part of his public persona, though we shouldn't confuse them with abuse. Sex, drugs, excess, alienation, Satanism, stage shows where naked women dragged around on dog leads, and more. His autobiography, The Long, Hard Road Out of Hell, is relentlessly hardcore. Again, to deny a segment about him and Manson sexually assaulting a heavily intoxicated woman. After he and Wood split, Manson told an interviewer, "I have fantasies every day about smashing her skull in with a sledgehammer." What was that? A red flag? Or was Manson just being Manson? Therein lies the problem, and not just with Manson. Rather, with the darker elements of rock and roll culture itself. So this goes on to explain the Me Too movement, and we don't have to go into any of that, because what we do have to go in is we have to see what the tarot cards tell us about Marilyn Manson. So we're going to use the Haunted House Tarot along with my go-to deck that I always use for readings like this. This is the Haunted House Tarot, and of course we're going to ask, because it's kind of a dark deck, we're going to ask, what do we have to know about Marilyn Manson? So we have a card here of a woman who doesn't want to see what's going on in her life, and she's protecting herself with the arms crossed in a protective body language. She feels like she has to protect herself from the shadow people. And the shadow people are evil. And in both of these, she's got a sword. Actually, two swords. Look at this. We have two swords here to protect herself. She's blindfolded. And she's watching and waiting for a way to escape. And she feels like she has to defend herself. What do these three cards have in common? It's a woman fighting or closed up. And in both of these, she's ready to fight. And by the time she's a little afraid. She's sneaking around the building like, oh my God, I have to escape, but I have to protect myself. And now she's full-fledged out in the open. Bring it on. I'm ready. She's ready. She's ready now to expose everything. And therein starts the creepy story. Now this is a creepy doll. And he's got kind of a creepy look he likes to have, which, you know, he can have that. It's all right. He can have that. So this woman's not the only woman who wants justice done. Do you see how the women are like gaining strength? They're gaining strength. They're like, you may have thought that you got away with something, but guess what? And this is where this is like solid women out of this deck. We haven't pulled a male yet. Do you understand that? This is from the women's perspective for some interesting reason. So we're going to go to the go-to deck, which is the universal weight. We're going to ask, did Marilyn Monroe abuse women sexually, physically, or even emotionally? Because, folks, abuse is abuse. We start the story here. Now, this could be that Marilyn Monroe is the shadow person and he gets his victims confused. And look at this with the veil. He gets into their head and he confuses them. But we don't know the rest of the story yet. This is just the confusion card. Could be he even gets them involved in drugs. Hey, let's do drugs. Get your mind all messed up. This portrays that there is a part of Marilyn Monroe that's obsessed with death or the death symbols. And we can see this by how he, dyes his hair black, his heavy makeup. He does kind of have like that look this could be just his look. And it also is a card where there are definitely victims here, and some of them young. I'm not saying children, I'm just saying young. And he wants to be on top, and he wants to be in control, right? And he wants to be worshipped, which he was when he was famous. This is the Seven of Pentacles, and we have a Seven of Wands. In both these cards, the person's kind of evaluating their options. He's evaluating what his options are. This is the card that all he really wanted at the core was to be like have true love. So the cards are kind of telling the story of what his life was. He's drawn to this dark culture, this dark side, but all he really wanted in life was somebody to truly love him. It feels like he had a rough upbringing. This indicates that he never was really balanced. The star is like he wanted to balance out his life. He wants to step out into new things. He doesn't want to stay where he is all the time. He's got an attraction to young people. Pages are young people. They can be children, but in this case, 19 years old is an adult. And even though he was 37 and she was 19, this is the adult card. So, this is, she was an adult. So this is somebody young. So he had a Page of Cups means he He really had a physical attraction to Rachel Wood. We should call her that. But this dark side led him to cause pain to the young people. So he was a heartbreaker. And with the 3 swords stabbed in, there was just a part of him that may have enjoyed emotional abuse or even physical abuse. But we're going to pull another card to see. Yeah, he was not balanced. So he has, see the big head, the big hat? He was emotionally, mentally, physically, his chemicals were off. He was either doing drugs and his head was not him. He was not a balanced person. He is not emotionally balanced. His physical chemicals could be off. I'm not a medical. This is just entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. This is that he had a plan, you know, and he liked to be admired by people. So here he is up here. He wants people to admire him. He wants to have a following. He wants to keep going in the work world, but he's unbalanced. The money went to his head. He has a part of his personality where he's a loner, and he's always going to be a loner, I have a feeling. He is always going to be somewhat of a loner. He's also a control freak, the emperor. He wants full control of everybody in his life. I am the ultimate ruler. I want to be worshipped. I want to be the ruler. And so is she. She's very independent. Both these cards together is he wants full control. Full control. And here he is with this affinity to young people. This is the second page that's shown up. So we're going to ask the cards, did he abuse physically, sexually, Evan Rachel Wood? This is the Hanson Roberts deck. Another page. You can't, folks, this is a lot of pages, and she's fighting. She's fighting to defend herself. She's like, you son of a gun. And that, by the way, this is mental control. Folks, you can't make this stuff up. This is not balanced. Same card. Same exact card, probably on the same pile. There you go. There you go. This is the same card, you guys. He's not stable. He's not stable. And she was young, but she wanted to defend herself. This can be the physical abuse card. She had to defend herself. He's not right in the head. This could be putting the story together. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think these cards say? Leave your comments below. Judgment. Could be that judgment's coming to him, and there could be at least 3 other people come forward, maybe more, but there's at least 3 people coming, blowing the horn, shouting, hey, this person has a history of not being balanced, of not being fair, and having anger issues. This is drinking problems, drug problems. This is somebody who is miserable. This person is miserable, probably has a drug addiction, not balanced in the head. Will this person be, I don't even know if he has been convicted because I didn't do any research on this. When I read cards, I try not to do very little research, because I don't want a lens or filter to be on my reading. So I just like to let the cards tell the story. Full circle, that's almost like karma. Oh my. Oh, this is weird. In the Hanson Roberts deck, um, this is a woman in the circle, and the guy is on the outside. Now, this is interesting. So when I asked if justice is going to be served, absolutely. This is like things are going to come full circle. The women are going to come out freely come out. And this person's going to fade to the background. I don't even know if this person is like actively doing anything right now, but they're going to be fading to the background pretty quickly. Walking away from their career, or walking away. They might have had an established career, established money, forced to leave. Turning the back, walking away. They are going to be forced to leave. I feel like they're going to feel like the people are looking at them from lack of respect. Like they're being watched, and it's going to be exposed that all of these things are going to be exposed, and so the person's like covered up, wearing, and they're covered up here, a cloak, wanting to kind of hide, miserable. This is miserable. But then this person has potentially, I'm just going to say allegedly, created a lot of pain in the lives of others. So what's going to be the future for this Marilyn Monroe? We don't know yet. It's going to depend on the women. His future is going to depend on how many women come and what they do, and they're pondering. These women are pondering what they should do. And there might be more women pondering on coming out. So what's going to be his future? It's going to be determined by these women. The women are going to gain power, and they are going to come forward. What else do we have to know? So there's a lot of women out there, same card, different deck, same card, different deck, that feel like they have to protect themselves, and that because they were young, all these pages came up. He was really drawn to young women, and they just felt like they couldn't hardly protect themselves. And that this is the swords, the thinking mind. He closed off their thinking mind. In other words, they didn't really know how to handle it. Like that woman said, she was groomed. Absolutely. Absolutely. This would be being groomed and not even know you're being groomed. She probably didn't even know it. So the Knight of Wands is just movement. This is going to have some movement. So I don't know where this case is going, or if there's any prosecution. Like I said, I don't know. But this is a card about movement. There's going to be some kind of movement in this. The Knight of Wands is fired up and ready for movement. And this is the women that are miserable and suffering, and will most likely suffer the rest of their lives from the abuse. If she's got the PTSD, that she could have that the rest of her life, as could the other women. So this is the women and the devastation and the suffering that they endured under him. I'm going to pull another card and just ask, what's the final message here? What is the final message here? King of Wands. So he still thinks that he's got one up on everybody. I mean, this guy has a smirk. He's got a smirk on his face. And he still feels like he's got power. With another page. Hopefully this is not true. Hopefully he's not still looking for young people. Hopefully, cross your fingers, he's not doing that. allegedly for entertainment purposes only. The Hermit. There's going to be a light shined on here. This is a light shined on what he's doing. This is like exposing this to a huge audience. It's going to be exposed. Both cases, we have somebody up on a mountain. This is the Fool. This is the Fool. So he's going to do something foolish, is my guess. He's going to get ego in his head, think that he's untouchable, and he's going to do something foolish. So in the end, this is going to work out for people because this is the butterfly of transformation. The sun is going to come out. So in the end, for those whose lives he's negatively impacted, they are going to feel good because the sun is going to come out. It's a new day, and this is the best card to end this type of reading on. So now I want to tell you that the tarot cards give very specific clues. Everything can be a clue. And it could be that you notice something in the helmet or something on the arm or something that they're holding or something in the background. There's a dragon up here. Or, the cards they just give hints on so many different levels. And there's a dog here that might mean something to somebody. And he's packing a bag and leaving, maybe going to a foreign country or something like this. There's a mountains. There's mountains here. The Fool, these two are on a mountain, so there's some connection to the mountain. We could literally stare at these cards for hours, and really, you should do this if you're diving into these. You should stare at this and say, okay, why are the mountains calling me? And then I always get a totally different deck and say, why am I noticing the mountains? And keep going with it. So he's moving. Like he's gonna move. He wants to disappear. See the guide? He wants to disappear because life is gonna get difficult for him. Life is gonna get difficult. That's the burdens card. So life is going to become very, very difficult for him. So if you guys notice anything in the cards, take a look at this video several times. Make some notes. Hey, I noticed this in a card, and do some research on the case because when I present these cases, I am very open to your theories, your interpretations, and this. We all understand this is for entertainment purposes only. And thank you for being on my channel.